अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। पनाह लेता हूँ मैं अल्लाह की शैतान मरदूद से। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। शुरू अल्लाह के नाम से जो बेहद मेहरबान निहायत रहम वाले हैं। यासीन वल कुरानिल हकीम इन्नका लमिनल मुरसलीन अला सिरातिन मुस्तकीम तंजीलल अज़ीज़िर रहीम। Yaseen, by the oath of the wise Quran, powerful Quran, you are definitely from among the messengers. You are upon the straight path, and this Quran is a revelation of the mighty, the most merciful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took qasam of Yaseen wal Quran al Hakim, and then he mentioned three things: Risalat of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and him being upon Sirat al-Mustaqim, and the Quran being a revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not a work of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This is revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is mighty, powerful, so he can reveal whatever he wants, and who is merciful, and he wants to show his mercy. That's why he sent this Quran down. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is then explaining, لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا مَا أُنذِرَ آبَاؤُهُمْ فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ. Just to go over what we mentioned last week, we said reciting among the virtues of Surah Yaseen, reciting 41 times is helpful for many problems, removing calamities, problems. My friend sitting over here just a while ago, Abu Bakr from Manchester, he said, Maulana Sahib, last week my wife was in labor and the doctors were going to induce her because the days had gone over and there was no other choice. And I texted you and you texted back to me that read Surah Yaseen 41 times, and I started reciting. She also recited. She recited it 41 times and everything started turning around and she had a smooth delivery. Own experience. So Yaseen Sharif 41 times, one person, single person reads it, makes dua, very effective. We also mentioned about, when a person is dying, we start reciting Yaseen Sharif. So people start thinking that, am I going to die? So Dr. Umar Sahib mentioned this Latifa. This joke some happened in somewhere in this town in Surat, that this person was very ill and he was not very well spoken. He used to, say bad words as well. But he fell ill. So two friends came to visit him. They saw that he's on the bed. So they came out. After coming out, they said to people, he's dying now. Why don't you take some honey and, recite some Yaseen Sharif. So they went and they saw that he's on the bed. So they brought some honey from the shop. And in that area, they give him some honey. So he started eating honey. So all that honey he kept eating. And one Sati went for wuzu. And he came down and he did wuzu. And then after that he said Yaseen. And the person stood up, said, why are you reading Yaseen over here to me? Do you think I'm going to die? So he kept on eating the honey all the way. But when Yaseen started, he immediately said, get away from me. And he started abusing, swearing that, why do you think I'm going to die now? You want to send me to the Qabristan? Now very soon, that's why you started Yaseen Sharif. Now this should not be the case. If someone recites Yaseen, you should say, Jazakallah, that he's trying to help me. Maybe he's going to make dua. Even if I'm not going to die, Allah might cure me due to the barakat of Yaseen Sharif. Anyway, Yaseen Sharif is very effective for removing problems, calamities, making easy the death of a person who is about to die. We should recite it upon a person who is about to pass away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala moving on saying, لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا مَا أُنذِرَ آبَاؤُهُمْ فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ. Allah revealed this Quran so that you may warn a people whose forefathers were not warned, and due to that they are negligent, they are heedless, not paying any attention. لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا مَا أُنذِرَ آبَاؤُهُمْ. You warn a people whose forefathers were not warned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this in Surah Al-Sajdah as well. بل هو الحق من ربك لتنذر قوما ما أتاهم من نذير من قبلك لعلهم يهتدون. This Quran is the truth from your Lord, so that you may warn a people whose forefathers were not warned, to whom no Nazir and warner came, so bring them to the guidance. In another place Allah said, وَمَا آتَيْنَاهُمْ مِنْ كُتُبٍ يَدْرُسُونَهَا وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمْ قَبْلَكَ بِالنَّذِيرِ. We did not give these people any book which they could read, they would read, and we did not send before you a warner among them. Meaning, these people are the descendants of Sayyidina Ibrahim and Ismail alayhi salam. And after Ismail alayhi salam, so many thousand years have passed, and within this period of so many thousand years, many thousands of prophets came among Bani Israel. From Ishaq to Yaqub to Yusuf, and then moving on to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam and Dawood and Sulaiman and Zakaria and Yahya and Isa, and all these prophets came among Bani Israel. But over here in this area of Makkah Mukarramah, in this vicinity, Allah did not send any prophet over here. So that is why they are in ghaflat and they are not paying attention. So we have sent you, O Muhammad, among these people so that you may warn them, because no warner, Nazir, has come among them. That is why we are sending you. From ghafilun, when wahi doesn't come, or people don't pay any attention to wahi, that's when ghaflat takes over. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, ghaflat is a real bad thing. We want to bring them close to our remembrance and get them out of that ghaflat and negligence and heedlessness. That is why we are sending you among them. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, لَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَىٰ أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. The decision has been passed against most of them that they will not believe. So they will not believe. إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا فِي أَعْنَاقِهِمْ أَغْلَالًا فَهِيَ إِلَى الْأَذْقَانِ فَهُمْ مُقْمَحُونَ. Surely we have placed in their necks, around their necks, a collar, and due to that their hands are tied to their chins and their gazes are fixed upwards. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. And we have placed a barrier in front of them and a barrier behind them. Then we have covered them so they cannot see. وَسَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. It is the same unto them, whether you warn them or you do not warn them. They will never have iman. They will never believe. إِنَّمَا تُنذِرُ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الذِّكْرَ وَخَشِيَ الرَّحْمَنَ بِالْغَيْبِ فَبَشِّرْهُ بِمَغْفِرَةٍ وَأَجْرٍ كَرِيمٍ. You can only warn that person who follows the advice and who fears Ar-Rahman without having seen him. So to such a person, give good news of maghfirat and ajr kareem, an honorable reward and provision. Inna nahnu nuhyi al-mawta wa naktubu ma qaddamu wa atharahum. Surely it is only we who revive the dead and record whatever they sent ahead, along with their trails they leave behind. And we have recorded everything in the clear book. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, لَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَىٰ أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. The word of Allah has been established and passed over most of them, so they shall not believe. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying this regarding the elite and the leaders among the mushrikeen, like Abu Jahl, Utbah, Shayba, Rabi'a, Walid bin Mughira, As ibn Wa'il Sahmi, Uqba ibn Abi Mu'ir, Umayyah ibn Khalaf Jumahi, Ubay ibn Khalaf. And these were the leaders. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is indicating towards these people that for most of them and these leaders, this word of Allah has been passed against them, so they will not believe. They are not going to believe. They have decided that they are so stubborn that they are going to stay on their stubbornness and refuse you and never going to believe in you. Now, Allama Shabir Ahmad Usmani rahmatullahi alayhi explained this very beautifully over here. So I will just read the commentary and beautiful words of Allama Shabir Ahmad Usmani rahmatullahi alayhi. he writes over here, यानी बहुत कठिन काम आपके सुपुर्द हुआ है. Very hard work has been, this hard responsibility has been put upon your shoulders, कि उस कौम अरब को आप कुरान के जरिए से होशियार और बेदार करें कि जिसके पास सदियों से कोई जगाने वाला नहीं भेजा था. वो जाहिल व गाफिल कौम जिसे न खुदा की खबर न आखिरत की, न माजी से इबरत, न मुस्तकबिल की फिक्र, न मबदा पर नजर, न मुंतहा पर, न नेक व बद की तमीज, न भले बुरे का शऊर, उसको इतनी लंबी जहालत और गफलत के अंधेरों से निकाल कर रुश्द व हिदायत की साफ सड़क पर लाकर खड़ा कर देना कोई मामूली और आसान काम नहीं है. बिलाशुबा आप पूरी कुव्वत और जोर व शोर के साथ उनको इस गफलत और जहालत के खौफनाक नताइज और भयानक मुस्तकबिल से डराकर फलाह व बहबूद के आला मदारिज पर पहुंचाने की कोशिश करेंगे, ताकि ये कौम अपनी आला कामयाबी से तमाम आलम के लिए कामयाबी का दरवाज़ा खोल दे. लेकिन बहुत से अफराद वो मिलेंगे जो किसी किस्म की नसीहत पर कान धरने वाले नहीं, इसलिए उन पर शैतान पूरी तरह मुसल्लत हो जाता है, जो उनकी हिमाकतों और शरारतों को उनकी निगाह में खुशनुमा और खूबसूरत करके दिखलाता है और अगले पिछले सब अहवाल को खा कितने ही गंदे हों खूबसूरत बनाकर जाहिर करता है. आखिर ये लोग दूसरी जिंदगी से बिल्कुल मुनकिर होकर अपनी फना होने वाली ख्वाहिशात ही को किबला और अपना मकसूद ठहरा लेते हैं. उस वक्त एक तरफ शैतान की ये बात कि लउग़वियन्नहुम अजमईन इल्ला इबादक मिनहुमुल मुखलसीन, कि मैं मुखलसीन के सिवा सबको बहका कर रहूंगा, ये उन पर सादिक आ जाती है, सच्ची हो जाती है. और दूसरी तरफ हक़ तआला का कौल लअमलअन्न जहन्नम मिनका व मिम्मन तबिअक मिनहुम अजमईन, कि अच्छा तो फिर मैं तुझसे और तेरी पैरवी करने वालों से दोज़ख को भर दूंगा, ये कौल उन पर साबित और चस्पा हो जाता है. बाकी इल्म इलाही में तो अज़ल से साबित है कि फुला कौम के फुला फुला अफराद अपनी बदतमीजी और लापरवाही से शैतान के इग़वा में फंसकर अज़ाब इलाही के मुस्तहिक होंगे. ऐसे लोगों के राह पर आने और मानने की क्या तवक्को हो सकती है? बस आपको सिलसिले इंज़ार और इस्लाह में अगर ऐसे हिम्मत शिकन वाक़ियात का मुकाबला करना पड़े तो गमगीन न हों, अपना फ़र्ज़ अदा करते जाएं और नतीजे को खुदा के सुपुर्द कर दें. ये तकरीर हुई, बहुत प्यारी तकरीर हुई कि हज़रत इज सेइंग दैट you have been sent as a warner to such people who have jahalat and ghaflat, for whom no warner has come. They don't care about their past, and they are not worried about the future. They don't think about their beginning nor about the ending and the akhirat and hereafter. They have no differentiation between what is good and what is bad, vice and virtue. And so because of the long time that has passed over them, you have been sent as a warner to them, so you will have to work really hard over them to make them understand and take them out from the pits of that ghaflat and jahalat and ignorance and bedini and staying away from deen, and opening the doors of success and kamyabi and falah for them. And along this path you will find many people for whom no amount of admonition and advice and counseling will be beneficial. They will have so much wickedness, shararat in them, that they will only think of their own desires and follow what they think is right, and they will fail to pay, take any heed and take any lessons. And they will only they will be afflicted by the whisperings of shaitan to such an extent that shaitan was driven out of Jannat, and then he took an oath that I will mislead and misguide the whole humanity, all the children of Adam, except for those whom you save and you rescue. So Shaitan's word that I'm going to mislead them is set upon them from one side, and from the other side Allah is saying that لَأَمْلَأَنَّ جَهَنَّمَ مِنْكَ وَمِمَّنْ تَبِعَكَ مِنْهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ, that Allah's word is sabit and confirmed upon them when Allah said, okay, then whosoever follows you, then I will fill Jahannam with you and your followers. So both words are set upon them. This is لَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَىٰ أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, that this word is established and set upon them, so that is why they are not believing. Now, the Allama Shabir Ahmad Usmani is trying to indicate that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not take their free will away from them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not push them towards Jahannam for no reason. It is they themselves who want to go in the Jahannam. So that is, first it was their actions, then Allah's word was set upon them. Allama Shabir Ahmad Usmani goes on to say, तक़रीर बाला को समझने के लिए ये आयत पेश नज़र रखिए. To understand the above explanation, keep these ayat in mind. Number one, وَمَنْ يَعْشُ عَنْ ذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ نُقَيِّضْ لَهُ شَيْطَانًا فَهُوَ لَهُ قَرِينٌ وَإِنَّهُمْ لَيَصُدُّونَهُمْ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ وَيَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. Surah Zukhruf, Ruku number 4. Whosoever turns away from the remembrance of Allah, then we will appoint over him a shaitan who will be his companion, and they will stop him from the correct path, and while these people will be thinking that they are rightly guided. Allama Sahab says, मालूम हुआ कि शैतान इब्तिदाअन किसी पर मुसल्लत नहीं किया जाता, बल्कि अंधा बनकर नसीहत से एराज करते रहने का ये असर होता है कि आखिरकार शैतान मुसल्लत हो जाता है. जैसे हाथ पांव से मुद्दत तक कोई काम न ले तो वो उज़्व बेकार कर दिया जाता है, बेकार हो जाता है. So this ayat indicates that shaitan is not put upon a person from the beginning, but when a person blinds himself and turns away from advice and he doesn't listen, then the effect of that is that shaitan overpowers him, takes over him. Just as if a person does not use his hands and feet or any limbs for a certain amount of time, a period, then that uzv and that limb will become useless and it will be ineffective. Similarly, Allah said, فَلَمَّا زَاغُوا أَزَاغَ اللَّهُ قُلُوبَهُم. जब उन्होंने ही टेढ़ा रास्ता इख्तियार किया तो अल्लाह ने उनके दिल टेढ़े कर दिए. When they themselves took the wrong path, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also twisted their hearts. Allah said, وَنُقَلِّبُ أَفْئِدَتَهُمْ وَأَبْصَارَهُم كَمَا لَمْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِهِ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ وَنَذَرُهُمْ فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ يَعْمَهُونَ. We turn around their hearts and their eyes and their sight just because they did not believe in it in the first time. And that is why we leave them in their rebellion wandering around. Allah said, وَقَيَّضْنَا لَهُمْ قُرَنَاءَ فَزَيَّنُوا لَهُمْ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُمْ وَحَقَّ عَلَيْهِمُ الْقَوْلُ فِي أُمَمٍ. So similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that after this zayyanu, this is when حَقَّ عَلَيْهِمُ الْقَوْلُ. तसल्लुत के बाद शैतान ये काम करता है जिसका नतीजा حَقَّ عَلَيْهِمُ الْقَوْلُ से जाहिर है. That when the neglect goes beyond limits, that is when shaitan overpowers and he takes over control over the person. حق عليهم القول. In another place Allah said, وَالَّذِي قَالَ لِوَالِدَيْهِ أُفٍّ لَكُمَا أَتَعِدَانِنِي أَنْ أُخْرَجَ وَقَدْ خَلَتِ الْقُرُونُ مِنْ قَبْلِي وَهُمَا يَسْتَغِيثَانِ اللَّهَ وَيْلَكَ آمِنْ إِنَّ وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقٌّ فَيَقُولُ مَا هَذَا إِلَّا أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ حَقَّ عَلَيْهِمُ الْقَوْلُ فِي أُمَمٍ. Allah Pak is mentioning the condition of two types of children. One is the obedient son to his parents, who is extremely loyal and khidmat guzar and wafadar, and his darajat is raised in Jannah with the du'as of his parents. And the other one who is abusive, insulting and swears and abuses the parents. Allah is saying that son who says to his parents, uffil lakuma, woe unto you. أَتَعِدَانِنِي أَنْ أُخْرَجَ. Are you promising me that there is life after death and I will be brought out of my grave when many generations have passed before me and nobody has come back out of their graves? and they are pleading to him that waylak amin, oh don't do this, woe unto you, believe in Allah, believe in Allah, inna wa'dallahi haqqun, Allah's promise is true and it's going to happen, life after death. But he says ma hada illa asatirul awwalin, these are only tales of the earlier generations. Allah said ulaika alladhina haqqa alayhimul qawl, it is they upon whom Allah's word is set and established upon them. इन आयत से मालूम हुआ कि लफ्ज़ हक़्क़ल क़ौल उन लोगों पर सादिक़ आता है जो मौत के बाद किसी दूसरी ज़िंदगी का यकीन ही नहीं रखते, न बुराई को बुराई समझते हैं बल्कि इग़वाए शैतानी से अपनी बदियों को नेकी और गुमराही को हिदायत तसव्वुर कर लेते हैं. That haqqal qawl, the word established, is upon such people who don't believe in life after death, who don't think vice as vice, but they take the misleading of shaitan and their sins as good and as virtue, and they take their dalalat and gumrahi and going astray as hidayat and staying upon straight path. So that is why when कैसे ही माकूल दलाइल सुनाइए, उनको खुले खुले निशान दिखलाइए, सबको झुटलाते रहेंगे और फजूल हुज्जतें और आर्ग्यूमेंट्स निकालते जाएंगे. No matter how many daleels and evidence and arguments and proofs you give to them and explain to them, and you explain clear signs to them, but they will always belie and deny, and they will just bring unnecessary arguments within them. बज़ाहिर हादियों और पैगंबरों की बात की तरफ कान झुकाएंगे मगर एक हर्फ समझने की कोशिश न करेंगे. Apparently and in outward appearance, they will pay attention, they will listen to whatever a guide, an admonisher, an advice giver is telling them and saying to them. However, they will just listen to one ear, take it out of the other ear. They won't try to understand what is being said. महज हवा व हवस को अपना माबूद ठहरा ले, ना अकल से काम ले ना आँखों से. Their hawa and desires are their ma'bud and their God, and they don't use their logic, they don't use their sight, they don't want to understand. यही लोग हैं जिनके एराज और इनाद के नतीजे में आखिरकार अल्लाह ताला दिलों पर मोहर लगा देता है. These are the people due to whose turning away and stubbornness Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala establishes a muhr and a seal upon their hearts कि उनमें कोई खैर घुसने की फिर गुंजाइश नहीं रहती, and then there is no room for any good entering in that heart. जैसे कोई शख्स अपने ऊपर रोशनी के सब दरवाजे बंद कर ले तो अल्लाह उसको अंधेरे में छोड़ देता है. Just as when a person closes all doors for any light to go in that room, then there is only darkness in there. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also leaves him in that darkness. या जैसे एक बीमार दवा पीने की कसम खा ले, तबीब से दुश्मनी कर ले और हर किस्म की बदपरहेजी पर तुल जाए, तो अल्लाह उसके मरज को मुहलिक बना देता है और मायूसी के दर्जे में पहुंचा देता है. Or another example, when a person who is sick, he takes a qasam, an oath that he is never going to take any medicine, and he has hatred for the doctor, and he is going against the parhezi of his maraz and his bimari. He is not doing any parhezi, and kya kehte hain parhezi ko, any cautiousness, and he is eating anything and everything, even if that is bad for his diabetic condition or whatever, cholesterol or heart problem, whatever, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also lets this illness and sickness of his increase, and it finally proves to be destroying for a person, and he goes into that state of mayusi and hopelessness, and then that sickness kills that person. So this is how the internal bimaris and sicknesses condition is. फरमाते हैं तिलकल कुरान नक़ुस्सु अलैका मिन अंबाइहा वलक़द जाअतहुम रुसुलुना बिल बय्यिनात फमा कानू लियुमिनू बिमा कज़्ज़बू मिन क़ब्लु कज़ालिक यत्बअु अल्लाहु अला क़ुलूबिल काफ़िरीन. Allah says their prophets and messengers came to them with clear proofs, but they had made a vow never to believe in them because they had belied from before as well. So it is in this manner that Allah puts a seal on the hearts of those who deny. ثم بعثنا من بعده رسلا إلى قومهم فجاءوهم بالبينات فما كانوا ليؤمنوا بما كذبوا من قبل كذلك نطبع على قلوب المعتدين. This is how we put a seal upon the hearts of the zalims and the tyrants. وَلَقَدْ ضَرَبْنَا لِلنَّاسِ فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ مِنْ كُلِّ مَثَلٍ وَلَئِنْ جِئْتَهُمْ بِآيَةٍ لَيَقُولَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِنْ أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا مُبْطِلُونَ كَذَلِكَ يَطْبَعُ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ فَاصْبِرْ إِنَّ وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقٌّ. Allah Pak is saying, we have explained every example and parable in this Quran and clarified everything. However, if you were to bring to them every proof, still the deniers will say you are only on batil and you are talking futile conversation. In this way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts a seal upon the hearts of those who have no understanding and knowledge. So, O Muhammad, do sabr, be patient, because Allah's promises are true and in reality. Allah goes on to say, كَذَلِكَ يُذِلُّ اللَّهُ مَنْ هُوَ مُسْرِفٌ مُرْتَابٌ الَّذِينَ يُجَادِلُونَ فِي آيَاتِ اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ سُلْطَانٍ أَتَاهُمْ. In this way, Allah misleads every musrif and murtab. Musrif, a person who exceeds limits, and murtab, who is always suspicious and doubt. So a suspicious, doubtful and going beyond limits person is misled in this manner. And who is that person who argues in the ayat and verses of Allah without any proof which has come to him? كبر مقتا عند الله وعند الذين آمنوا كذلك يطبع الله على قلب كل متكبر على كل قلب متكبر جبار. This is really a thing of really inviting anger of Allah upon themselves from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with Allah and with those who have believed. They understand this, and in this manner Allah sets a seal upon the heart of every mutakabbir and jabbar, every proudy and haughty and tyrant zalim person. Allah said, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَسْتَمِعُ إِلَيْكَ حَتَّى إِذَا خَرَجُوا مِنْ عِنْدِكَ قَالُوا لِلَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ مَاذَا قَالَ آنِفًا أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ طَبَعَ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ. There are some among the hypocrites who listen to you, but when they go out of your sitting and majlis, they say to those who have been given ilm and knowledge, what was Muhammad saying recently? We didn't understand what he said. Allah said, it is they upon whose hearts Allah has set a seal. Allah said, بَلْ طَبَعَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهَا بِكُفْرِهِمْ فَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Nay, but Allah has set a seal upon their hearts due to their denial and rejection. So now they will not believe except a little. Allah said, كَلَّا بَلْ رَانَ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ مَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. Nay, that which they had been doing has covered up a covering upon their hearts, a covering of a rain and zung and black patches upon their hearts. So that which they did, that is the one which is setting that seal upon them. Allah said, أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ وَأَضَلَّهُ اللَّهُ عَلَى عِلْمٍ وَخَتَمَ عَلَى سَمْعِهِ وَقَلْبِهِ وَجَعَلَ عَلَى بَصَرِهِ غِشَاوَةً فَمَنْ يَهْدِيهِ مِنْ بَعْدِ اللَّهِ أَفَلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. Have you seen that person who has made his desires his God? His aim is only what he desires, luxuries, life of this dunya, nothing else. He's not worried about life after that, never thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah took him away in spite of his ilm and knowledge. He knew everything and still he went astray. So Allah also let him go, and then Allah set a seal upon his ears so he can't hear the truth, upon his heart so he can't understand the truth, and placed a covering upon his eyes so he can't see the truth. So who can guide him now after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set this seal upon him? وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا أُولَئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ أُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. يحرفون الكلمة من بعد مواضعه يقولون إن أوتيتم هذا فخذوه وإن لم تؤتوه فاحذروا ومن يريد الله فتنته فلن تملك له من الله شيئا أولئك الذين لم يرد الله أن يطهر قلوبهم لهم في الدنيا خزي ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم. All these ayat are explaining that لَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَىٰ أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ is no zulm or anything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is due to their own doings and their own works, which caused Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to set that seal upon their hearts so they do not believe. And this ayat is not about the general disbelievers, it's about those who are bent on their heels that they are not going to believe, who have fixed it. So Allah also said, okay, if you don't want to believe, then I put this set on you, don't believe that. So this is the meaning of لَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَىٰ أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. The Shani Nuzul. Why was this ayat revealed? There are few narrations by Imam Qurtubi rahmatullahi alayhi in his Tafseer al-Jami' li Ahkam al-Quran. Number one, before I mention the Shani Nuzul, we will read the next ayat first. إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا فِي أَعْنَاقِهِمْ أَغْلَالًا فَهِيَ إِلَى الْأَذْقَانِ فَهُمْ مُقْمَحُونَ. We have placed around their necks a collar which reaches to their chins, so that their gazes are fixed upwards. हमने उनकी गर्दनों में तौक बांध दिए हैं. अब जो है वो तौक उनकी थोड़ी के नीचे है, तो उनकी आंखें ऊपर की ऊपर रह गई हैं. ये हजरत अली करमल्लाहु वजहू explained this. He put both his hands beneath his beard and his jaw, and he said that this is called putting the fetters and collarbones around the collar, and so the head is raised and they cannot move here or there. This is normally done, this collarbone, when there is a neck injury and the hospital, and then even if you are sleeping, your head will always be high. So Allah is saying their condition is this. And then Allah is saying, وَجَعَلْنَا مِن بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. We have placed a barrier in front of them and a barrier behind them, and we have covered them so they cannot see. Now, we go on to the Shani Nuzul. Imam Qurtubi narrates that once Abu Jahl said that Muhammad comes and prostrates over here and prays right in front of us. If I see him, I'm going to crush him. So after a while, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to Baytullah Sharif and he started his salah. Abu Jahl went and he took a huge boulder and he carried it heavily, and he came to bring it and to throw it over the head of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to crush it. But as he carried it and approached, his hands were stuck there and he couldn't move. And he wanted to move forward, but he was going backwards. And his hands remained in that state until he fell backwards, and the stone also fell backwards, and he started running. And he went away. In another narration, he went around looking, where is Muhammad, where is Muhammad? And people are saying, he's there, but he can't see him. Other people can see him, but he cannot see him. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put a curtain over his eyes, and he cannot see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam over there praying namaz. In another place, a similar incident. Abu Jahl once said that next time I see Muhammad, I'm going to stamp my feet over his neck and crush him. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and he went into sajda, and Abu Jahl was sitting with his comrades at one place. And in order to show his arrogance and his might and power, he stood up and he started walking. And as he approached the Prophet ﷺ, he started saying, hey, watch out, save me. And he rushed back. And people said, what happened? He said, Inna bayni wa baynahu khandaqan min narin wa hawlan wa ajnihatan. That between me and him, I saw a trench filled with fire. And I saw some really scary stuff. And I saw some wings flying. And he rushed away and he went back. And afterwards, when Rasulullah was informed, he said, Tilka Zabaniya. Those wings which he saw in the fire were the Zabaniya, the caretakers of Jahannam. No. And if he approached me, then they would have torn his body to pieces. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So This is what maybe Allah Pak is referring to over here, these types of incidents that Abu Jahl, even though knowing that the Prophet ﷺ is true Prophet of Allah, he has seen many signs. He was among those who saw the Shaqqul Qamar, the splitting of the moon, but still refused to believe.
No.
Once he came to the Prophet ﷺ and he said, "Oh Muhammad, I have got something hidden in my hands. If you tell me what this is, I will believe in you." So the Prophet ﷺ said, "Oh, that's very easy. But if I tell that stuff which is in your hand to declare Kalmah Shahadat, will you believe?" He said, "Okay." So Prophet ﷺ said, "You've got few pebbles, stones in your hands. Take those pebbles to your ear and listen to what they are saying." And he put them near his ears and they were saying, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu." Something is happening to me. This is magic, and he ran away. So he knew that Prophet ﷺ is true, but still he did not want to believe. All evidences had been put forward before him, but he did not want to believe. So this is why Allah said that I have also set my word against him, and he is not going to believe. Number 2, Imam Qurtubi rahmatullahi alayhi mentions that Inna ja'alna fi a'naqihim aghlalan fahiya ila al-adhqani fahum muqmahun. This could be a parable that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is causing similarity, saying that they are prevented from believing, just as a person whose hands are tied to his necks is prevented from doing many things. He wants to scratch his body, but he can't. He wants to drink water, but he can't. He wants to eat something, but he can't. He stopped from many things. So similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, we have put a collarbone and tied their hands around their necks, so they will not believe. Meaning, they have been stopped and prevented from believing. Number 3, Imam Farra said, this means حَبَسْنَاهُمْ عَنِ الْإِنفَاقِ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. We have stopped them from spending in the path of Allah. In another place, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Bani Israel, وَلَا تَجْعَلْ يَدَكَ مَغْلُولَةً إِلَىٰ عُنُقِكَ وَلَا تَبْسُطْهَا كُلَّ الْبَسْطِ فَتَقْعُدَ مَلُومًا مَحْسُورًا. So, tying the hand to the neck is a kinaya from bakhili and kanjusi. So, meaning, we have made them bakhil, so they will not spend in the path of Allah. Number 4, Qurtubi narrates that this is a similitude for istikbar anil haqq. Because in the Arab, society, istikbar anil haqq and takabbur and being proudy was mentioned with the words hands tying to the neck. They would say that so-and-so's hands are tied to the neck and his head is always raised. He never looks, with mercy upon people. He is tall and he is built and proper. He is a tyrant and he is always looking up. He never looks down. So this is فَهُمْ مُقْمَحُونَ and إِلَى الْأَذْقَانِ means. Number 5, Qurtubi narrates that some mufassirin say that al-isharatu ila ma yuf'alu bi aqwamin ghadan fi an-nar. The indication is towards such people whose hands will be tied in the fire of Jahannam when they are punished. So these types of people, these tyrants, these leaders, they will be punished while their hands will be tied to their necks and their heads will only be looking up, and they won't be able to get any relief from the azab which will be inflicted upon them. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا فِي عَنَاقِهِمْ أَغْلَالًا فَيَضْرِبُونَ وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. We have placed a covering before them, behind them. We have covered them so they do not see. This covering Allah Pak has placed. Ibn Ata al-Hakim says that this covering is of tulul amal and ittiba'ul hawa. That before them they have long hopes and desires, that this is what we are going to do and this is how we are going to behave. We are going to have a long life, and vain hopes and vain desires. This is one curtain which is over them, and tam'ul baqa, and the greed of staying long. They want to live over here for 1,000 years. Nobody lives for 1,000, but they are thinking and planning as though they're going to stay in this dunya for 1,000 years. So having hopes of long life and vain desires, this is one sad and barrier which is before them. And وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا, another barrier behind them, فَهُوَ الْغَفْلَةُ عَمَّا سَبَقَ مِنْهُ مِنَ الْجِنَايَاتِ. This is negligence due to the sins and disobedience which they had committed. وَقِلَّةُ النَّدَمُ وَالْإِسْتِغْفَارُ عَلَيْهِمْ, and showing no remorse upon the disobediences and the denial and kufr and shirk and fisq and fujur which was committed in the past, and never seeking forgiveness over it. So for future is the tama', and for past the sins which they have committed. أعماه تردده في الغفلات عن الاعتذار لما سبق منه من الجنايات. That his ghaflat has blinded him from turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this covering is of his own sins and own doings, like we mentioned before. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to indicate towards that. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَسَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِ. This verse, فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ, we have covered them, they cannot see. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam recited this verse while he was going out of his home at the time of Hijrah. When he told Ali ibn Abi Talib to sleep on his bed, and then he came out, and the mushrikeen were surrounding his house, and they were waiting at the door. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam started reading Yaseen wal Quran al Hakim, innaka lamin al mursaleen ala siratin mustaqim tanzil al aziz al rahim. And he came upon this ayat, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. हमने उनको कवर कर दिया, वो हमको देखते नहीं. बस ये पढ़ते हुए हुजूर बाहर निकले, comes out and he is sprinkling, he has some mitti and he is sprinkling that mitti over their heads, and he is going and they cannot see him. Allah. And they could not see him. He passed by, but they could not see him. Allah put a covering. In another instance, Jamil Binte Jamil Binte Harb ibn Abd Shams, the sister of Abu Sufyan ibn Harb and the wife of Abu Lahab, had great hatred for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she was a very क्या कहते हैं ज़बान की तेज शरीर ज़ुबान गालम गलोजी वाली, and she used to swear and abuse and insult, and very sharir woman. And the whole Makkah would be terrified of her. And she would insult Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. She would sometimes throw thorns on his path. And there were times when she would swear and abuse at Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So on one instance, when Tabbat Yada Abi Lahabin wa Tab was revealed, and Wamra'atuhu Hammalat al-Hatab was revealed in the surah, and she heard this surah, she said, where is that Muhammad who is talking about me and saying these words, وَامْرَأَتُهُ حَمَّالَةَ الْحَطَبِ فِي جِيدِهَا حَبْلٌ مِّن مَّسَدٍ. And she came to abuse Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was sitting in one corner of the Haram Sharif among the few Sahabas like Abu Bakr Siddiq and others. And Abu Bakr Siddiq was scared and said, Ya Rasulullah, mar gaye, wo aa rahi hai. She's coming, Ya Rasulullah, oh no, what's going to happen? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, don't worry, she won't harm me. And she is going around looking, where is he, where is he, where is he? And she sees Abu Bakr and he must be there. So she comes, where is Muhammad, where is he gone, where has he gone? No. And they're all quiet. They can see Abu Bakr Siddiq and the other Sahabat, but she can't see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in that fit of rage, she just said some things and went away from there. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from that anger and from that heat, moment of heat and that abuse and insult of Jamil in this manner. So sometimes Allah places a covering and someone is there but you can't see them. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was going out, people could not see him. Jamil came, he could not see him. Abu Jahl came with that rock and boulder, but he could not see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his hand stuck over there and he had to go away. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places this. It happens with sometimes awliyaullah as well. In our India, Haji Imdadullah Muhajir Makki Rahmatullah alayhi Hindustan, there was a warrant given out against him for his arrest, and Hazrat was in hiding somewhere. Now some informer told the enemies that Haji Imdadullah Sahab is at so and so's farm, and the police came to arrest Haji Sahab. Now the person saw that they are coming. So quickly he took Haji Sahib to the barn. And there was some haystack and horses and there. And Haji Sahib took one musalla and started praying salah over there. Performed wuzu, start praying salah. And the police come. And he welcomes them, lets them sit down. And then he offers tea, whatever. And then they say, we have heard that Haji Sahib is over here. And he said, no, he's not over here. And then the police say that we want to search the house. And he said, okay. So they go around, search the whole house. They can't see. But they said that we have been informed, so he must be over here. So they go out and start looking here and there in the area. They go in the barn. And what do they see? They go inside and they come out. There's nobody in there. They can see the musalla. They can see the lota of water. But they can't see Haji Sahib. Haji Sahib was busy in his salah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed a covering on the eyes. So this is وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. Even though this ayat is regarding haqq and truth, that their eyes are covered from the haqq and they cannot see the haqq and the truth. However, it can be taken in this physical sense as well. So sometimes if we are scared of someone or something, we can read this ayat as well, repeat it often, and inshallah Allah will place a covering, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will rescue and save. Repeat this ayat often, or keep reciting, and inshallah Allah will protect. So this is فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. Allah is saying وَسَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. It is the same upon them, whether you warn them or you do not warn them, they are not to believe. They have decided and they are not going to believe. إِنَّمَا تُنذِرُ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الذِّكْرَ وَخَشِيَ الرَّحْمَنَ بِالْغَيْبِ. You can only warn a person who follows nasihat and advice, and who has some fear of Rahman, the most merciful, without seeing Rahman. So to such person, give good news or maghfirat and ajr kareem. Alhamdulillah, we follow the advice given to us and we fear Rahman. So inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us good news of maghfirat and ajr kareem. Allah is saying those who have said that they don't want to follow, then it is equal upon them, whether you warn them, whether you do not warn them, they are not going to believe. They are going on the footsteps of Firaun, Haman, Qarun, Namrud, Shaddad, Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, and that is the way they want to go. Let them go. There is no point in warning them. Now, another point over here, which Imam Qurtubi rahmatullah alayhi has indicated, is the point of taqdeer, that the events that were going to happen, Allah knew that they are going to happen, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala noted them down in Lawh Mahfuz. Like what is going to happen 100 years down the line, Allah knows, and Allah has recorded it. So this is happening not because Allah recorded it, but because it was going to happen. That's why Allah recorded it. So this is taqdeer, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has recorded everything down of whatever is going to happen. Now we can explain this in many ways. That many a times a person knows that this is going to happen, and he says, like for example in our case, even though we are not alimul ghaib, but we can say that tomorrow this is going to happen. And like Dr. Saab is an expert, and he visits a sick person, and he says that, oh, his condition is such, so he is unconscious. Give him this medicine, he will regain his consciousness. He will ask for some water. Don't give him water, give him some orange juice, and then he might faint again. But after that again and then you give him this medicine and give him this, and inshallah he will recover. And exactly that's what happens. So that's not happening because Dr. Saab said this is going to happen, but it was happening, and Dr. Saab, due to his expertise, understood that this is going to happen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Allamul Ghuyub. His ilm is encompassing everything. So He has noted everything down in Lawh Mahfuz, which Allah has mentioned, وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. Imam Mubin is Lawh Mahfuz. بَلْ هُوَ قُرْآنٌ مَجِيدٌ فِي لَوْحٍ مَحْفُوظ. So it's been recorded over there. Allah knew it's going to happen. That's why Allah recorded it. This is the mas'ala of taqdeer, destination. Destiny. Sorry, destination and destiny. Destiny, fate, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything, so He recorded it down due to His ilm and due to His knowledge. Now, there were some group of people who used to say, question है
मैं मुझे सूरह हदीद की वो आयत आ गई मा असाबा मिन मुसीबत मिन अल्लाह फी
इल्ला बिइज़्निल्लाह,
तो वहाँ पे भी है
बिल्कुल
वो चीज़ आ गई
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल मा असाबा मिन मुस्लिम इल्ला बिइज़्निल्लाह मा असाबा मिन मुस्लिम फिल अर्दि वला फी अनफुसिकुम इल्ला फी किताबिन मिन क़ब्ल अन नब्रअहा इन्न ज़ालिका अला
क्या है
नब्रअहा मैंने लिख लिया, हमने उसको नोट कर लिया, मेरे ख्याल में यही उसका तर्जुमा इल्ला मा असाबा इल्ला फी किताबिन क़ब्ल अन नब्रअहा इन्न ज़ालिका अला अल्लाह यसीर लिकै ला तअसौ अला मा फातकुम वला तफरहू बिमा आताकुम वल्लाहु ला युहिब्बु कुल्ल मुख्तालिन फखूर.
Does it make it happen? Does it mean
है जी ये है इसमें मा असाब में मुसीबतिन, कोई आफत नहीं आ पड़ती मुल्क में और न तुम्हारी जानों में जो लिखी न हो एक किताब में इससे पहले कि पैदा करें हम उसको दुनिया में. नब्रअहा वो मैंने लिख दिया, बोल दिया मेरी गलती हुई, पैदा करें. बरअ यब्रअ पैदा करना, हुवा अल्लाहुल खालिकुल बारी, बारी पैदा करने वाला. तो उस मुसीबत के पैदा करने से पहले हमने उसको लिख लिया था कि ये मुसीबत आने वाली है. तो तकदीर का मसला तो कुरान में अल्लाह ने बहुत जगह समझाया है. इन्ना कुल्ल शैइन खलकनाहु बिक़दर सब्बिह इस्म रब्बिकल अअला अल्लज़ी खलक़ फसव्वा वल्लज़ी क़द्दर फहदा. अल्लाह ने सब कुछ मुक़द्दर किया और फिर उसको गाइड किया और रहनुमाई की. तो तकदीर वल्लाहु खलक़कुम वमा तअमलून, अल्लाह सुब्हानहु व तआला has said, और कुल लन युसीबना इल्ला मा कतबल्लाहु लना, कोई मुसीबत हम पर नहीं आएगी मगर जो अल्लाह ने हमारे लिए लिखी हो. हुवा मौलाना व अलल्लाहि फलियतवक्कलिल मुमिनून. तो कतब यक्तुबु, Allah has noted everything down. This is the masla of taqdeer. Many ahadith also indicate towards this. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, al-imanu an tu'mina billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wal yawmil akhiri wal qadari khayrihi wa sharrihi. That you believe in taqdeer, good or bad, is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has noted it down and things are happening. You have iman on taqdeer. So this is believing in taqdeer and fate and destiny. Now, if it was something that we could grasp, then we would not have been told to believe in it. Like Allah, Kutub, Rusul, Taqdeer, we believe in that. So this masla is something Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, don't go too much detail in there. Don't debate about it. Why this, why that, why this, why that. Is harmful for you. Just believe that whatever is happening is by the taqdeer and by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has noted it down. There were some people who used to deny taqdeer and who used to say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't know anything, and every day as things happen and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or a week later or 10 days later or a year later. So similarly Allah doesn't know, and as things go Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finds them out. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just created the dunya and Allah is there relaxing and looking at everything happening on its own. So these people were called Qadariyya. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam warned of such people, and he said, Al-Qadariyyatu majusu hadhihi al-ummah. That Qadariyya are the majus of this ummah. If you meet them, don't say salam to them. And he mentioned some grave warning regarding them. So among them, one of the banis of taqdeer was Ghailan al-Qadari. Imam Qurtubi narrates from Ibn Shihab Zuhri that Ghailan al-Qadari was brought before Sayyiduna Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. And Umar ibn Abdul Aziz asked him that, O Ghailan, Balaghani annaka tatakallamu fil qadr. I have been told that you are talking about taqdeer and you are speaking on that subject and misguiding, misleading people. And he said, Yakdhibuna alayya ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen, people forge lies upon me. I am not that type of person. So Umar ibn Abdul Aziz kept quiet. He said, okay. Then he himself started saying, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, أرأيت قول الله تعالى إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا إنا هديناه السبيل إما شاكرا وإما كفورا. Do you see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that in Surah Al-Dahr, that surely it is we who created man from a nutfa, mixed nutfa, and we tested him, we made him sami'an basir, and then Allah said, Inna hadaynahu sabil imma shakiran wa imma kafura. We have shown him both ways. He can be either grateful or ungrateful. So hadayna here he means to say that you tell someone, why this is the way, this is the route to Bolton, you want to go upon it, this is Bolton and this is Blackburn. So it's up to you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that this is Shakir and this is Kafur. So insan goes himself. So he was trying to use this ayah for his understanding. So Amirul Mu'mineen Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said, okay Ghayla, continue reading. And he continued and continued until he came upon فَمَنْ شَاءَ اتَّخَذَ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِ سَبِيلًا وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَنْ يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. You cannot will except if Allah wills. إن الله كان عليما حكيما يدخل من يشاء في رحمته والظالمين أعد لهم عذابا أليما. Allah is wise and Allah is knowledgeable, and He admits into His mercy whomsoever He wishes. As for the tyrants, He has kept a painful punishment. So he began to say, والله يا أمير المؤمنين إن شعرت أن هذا في كتاب الله قط. والله يا أمير المؤمنين, I never knew that this ayat is in the Quran. My attention never went towards this. So he said, Ya Ghaylan, Iqra ya Surah Yaseen. O Ghaylan, read Surah Yaseen. And he recited Surah Yaseen until he came upon وَسَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. For such people it is the same whether you warn or you do not warn, they are not going to believe. This is taqdeer. Allah has noted it down. This is what's going to happen. So he said, Ghaylan, so Ghaylan replied, Wallahi ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, كَأَنِّي لَمْ أَرَهَا قَطُّ قَبْلَ الْيَوْمِ. As though I have never seen this ayat before today. Ishhad ya Amir al-Mu'mineen anni ta'ib. O Amir al-Mu'mineen, be witness that I am repenting from my previous beliefs. So Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said, Allahumma in kana sadiqan fatub alayhi wa thabbithu wa in kana kadhiban fasallit alayhi man la yarhamuhu waj'alhu ayatan lil mu'mineen. O Allah, if he is truthful in his repentance, then accept his repentance and keep him steadfast. But if he is lying to me, then appoint over him someone who shows him no mercy and make him a sign and an ibrat for the rest of the believers, a lesson for the others. This happened, he went away. But afterwards, he continued upon his previous misguiding, misleading, and Hisham, captured him, got hold of him after Umar ibn Abdul Aziz passed away, and Hisham ibn Abdul Malik brought him in. He was brought to his jail, prison, and then Hisham cut off his hands and his feet, and then he crucified him on the cross. Ibn Aoun says, فَأَنَا رَأَيْتُهُ مَصْلُوبًا عَلَى بَابِ دِمَشْقٍ. I saw him hanging on the gates of Damascus. فَقُلْنَا مَا شَأْنُكَ يَا غَيْلَانِ. He had some life at that, and we asked him, what happened to you, O Ghaylan? And he replied, أَصَابَنِي دَعْوَةُ الرَّجُلُ الصَّالِحِ Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. That the pious man, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, his dua struck me. So this is what has happened to me, and this is what brought me to this place. So Imam Qurtubi rahmatullah alayhi indicates that this ayat also indicates somewhat towards taqdeer, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew and He noted things down. We believe in the taqdeer and whatever Allah has destined for us. There is some benefit in the belief of taqdeer, and that is that if some problem, musibat comes upon us, then we get some solace and tasalli. भाई चलो ये मुसीबत तकदीर में लिखी थी, हो गई, खत्म. अब हम जो है इसमें ये नहीं करते हैं जो तकदीर में लिखा था हुआ. So you can use taqdeer for musibat and to gain some tasalli and solace, but not for ma'asiyat. I read in this book Why Islam is Our Choice, that there was this person who was interested in Islam and who studied Islam. He understood everything about Islam, but this masla of taqdeer he could not understand. That why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destined that things are going to happen. So he kept on studying, and one day he says that I sat down to recite the Quran. I wanted to learn. So he says, I opened the book and I started off with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And I just kept on thinking about Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I begin in the name of Allah, the compassionate, the most merciful. And I thought to myself, oh, there is some rahmat and compassion and mercy in this taqdeer as well. And because of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destined everything, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has noted everything down in Lawh Mahfuz. So there is some rahmat in there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the wisdom behind it. I don't understand that the wisdom behind it. My mind is small, my brain is small, it cannot comprehend everything. It's better if I don't debate regarding it, and I believe in whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destined for me. And he embraced Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided him through Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and he embraced Islam. So taqdeer is taqdeer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator of the universe, and he is the sustainer and caretaker. He is Al-Hayyul Qayyum, and his attributes are La ta'khudhu sinatun wa la nawm, lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. To him belongs whatever is in the heavens and the earth. He has the sole power, and he can do whatever he likes. He has destined, and he has fixed thing, and everything has a measurement, and we have no right to object upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what Allah is explaining over here, and he is saying that such people, upon them the word has been established. They will not believe. However, innama tunziru man ittaba'a dhikra wa khashiya ar-rahman bil ghayb. You can warn and admonish such people who follow the zikr. Dhikr over here, Ibn Kathir says, dhikr hauna al-Quran. That dhikr over here means al-Quran, who follow the Quran, who read the Quran, understand the Quran, and try and abide by the rules set in the Quran. And wa khashiya ar-rahman bil ghayb. Here they have khashiyat of Rahman in their hearts without seeing him. إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير وأسروا قولكم أو اجهروا به إنه عليم بذات الصدور ذلك لمن خشي ربه. So this is it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying فبشروا بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم. Surely we bring the dead back to life, and we note down whatever they have sent forth and their trails, and everything we have recorded in a clear book. Inna nahnu nuhyil mauta. The literal meaning is those who have died and buried in their graves, Allah will bring them back to life. Also, an indication is towards the fact that those who are not believing are like a lifeless dead person. We will breathe life into them, and we will give them iman and hidayat. So hidayat is in my hand. Don't worry, you keep doing your work. I will open the doors of hidayat for whom I will. We bring the dead back to life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in another place, وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا مِّنْ أَمْرِنَا. We have revealed this ruh from our amr. So this Quran is a ruh, is an inspiration. It inspires that ruh and spirit and soul into the hearts of those who read it and who try to understand it. So, inna nahnu nuhyil mauta, we will bring the dead back to life in the physical manner on the day of Qiyamah when the trumpet is blown by Israfil alayhi salam. But also before that, we see people who are أَوَمَنْ كَانَ مَيْتًا فَأَحْيَيْنَاهُ وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُ نُورًا يَمْشِي بِهِ فِي النَّاسِ كَمَنْ مَثَلُهُ فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ لَيْسَ بِخَارِجٍ مِّنْهَا. Is that person who was lifeless, and we gave him life, and we placed before him a nur and light, and in that nur and light he is rushing and quickly running towards his a destination and his goal. Is he like that person who is still in the darknesses, and he is not going to come out of those darknesses? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, وَمَا يَسْتَوِي الْأَحْيَاءُ وَلَا الْأَمْوَاتُ وما يستوي الأعمى والبصير ولا الظلمات ولا النور ولا الظل ولا الحرور ولا الأحياء ولا الأموات وما أنت بمسمع من في القبور. So the hayy and the mayyit, life full of life and the one without life are not equal. Allah is saying those who have no life, we will bring them to life, we will breathe life into them, and وَنَكْتُبُ مَا قَدَّمُوا, we will note down whatever they had sent ahead and their trails. Now, whatever they had sent ahead and their trails, meaning whatever a'mal you do, Allah has noted them down. We have angels on our right and on our left who are noting everything down. We have noted everything down. And whatever trails you leave behind, good or bad, is also noted down. Whatever trails after death. He says, إِذَا مَاتَ ابْنُ آدَمْ إِنْقَطَعَ عَمَلُهُ إِلَّا مِنْ ثَلَاثٍ. When the son of Adam dies, his a'mal are seized except from three things. صدقة جارية أو علم ينتفع به أو ولد صالح يدعو له. Sadaqah Jariyah, or ilm which is benefiting people, or pious children who are praying for him. So the sawab of these continue for him. Also, من سن في الإسلام سنة حسنة فله أجرها وأجر من عمل بها بعده. ومن سن في الإسلام سنة سيئة فعليه وزرها ووزر من عمل بها بعده. In Islam, whosoever makes a good way for people and people follow that path, then he will get the sawab and reward of making that way, and the sawab of those who go on that way and path and follow him. And whosoever makes an evil path, then he will get the wizr of making that path, and the sum of that wizr, the wizr and the guna and the sin of those who go on that path as well. This is, if you did something bad and if people are doing that, you will get their guna as well. So we try and do something good over here, benefit people, and inshallah even after we die, then that sawab will continue for us. This is ma qaddamu wa asarahum. Whatever you send forth in this dunya and whatever remains you leave behind, your trails, they will be noted down and you will be rewarded for that. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is indicating. Now, alhamdulillah, this is our website, benefiting people. Inshallah, even after we die, people benefit, we will benefit from them. This is the same as like writing a book. Yeah. When someone reads a book, then the author gets thawab for that, reward for it. However, one thing sometimes I feel a bit scared. Someone asked me a question. Maulana Sahab, people these days, give someone a TV or a box, and the person looks at bad programs on there. So the person who gave that, will he get guna for it? And secondly, sometimes people video record some family members, and then after their death, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years after death, they keep looking at those videos. So will the deceased get guna in their qabr for leaving those videos behind? And I said, Allah Akbar. Nobody asked me this question before. However, the first question was, just as if you give something good like this book to someone and he reads it, you get sawab. So if you give a television or box to someone and he looks at bad stuff on there, then you could get the guna for that bad stuff which he watches. Why did you give? You should have thrown it in the bin. You shouldn't have given him such a present which makes him sin, and that sin comes upon you as well, and you incur that sin as well. And with the second stuff, when a person leaves behind these types of videos and photographs, the question she asked about photo as well. These types of photographs and videos behind, and people get together and look at those videos. If the deceased person, ordered the family to do that, or he liked them doing that, then there is a possibility that he will incur sin and guna of that in his qabr as well. This is keeping in mind the hadith wherein Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Innal mayyita yu'adhabu bi bukai ahlihi alayhi." When lamenting and matam is done in a household, then the mayyit and deceased is punished in his qabr because of this matam and lamenting in the home. No. And the shurra say that this is when that mayyit gave instructions that when I die, you must do this, and you must do my matam and you must lament on this. And this was the habit of the people of Jahiliyyah, ignorance. Where Imru al-Qais said, فَإِن مِتُّ فَنْعِينِي بِمَا أَنَا أَهْلُهُ وَشِقِّي عَلَيَّ الْجَيْبَ يَبْنَةَ مَعْبَدِي. When I die, then oh my girlfriend, Bint Ma'bad, tear your clothes apart and your hair and scream and loudly so people know that I was a huge person, a person of great caliber. So they used to give these instructions in poetry for matam. So when a person gave that instruction of matam, then over here matam is done and he is being punished inside the qabr. So similarly, when a person does something wrong and his family are following it, he instructed them, then he will get azab in the qabr. Let's say a person had taken mortgage and he had died, and his family are paying that mortgage after him. He is getting guna and azab and punishment in the qabr, because he knew that this could happen, and still he left no instruction. He told them to pay off the mortgage, and the sin of that sood and that what you call interest, usury, is going upon him in the qabr. So if someone does something bad, instruct his family to do that bad and that evil, then he could be punished inside the qabr. So over here as well, if he made those videos, he liked it, and he wanted his family to remember, he said, yes, even after I die, you must remember me, you must watch those videos and look at them and cry over me, then he could get guna and azab in the qabr, because he made those instructions, give them to them. And what you call, also, if he knew that this is going to happen, he did not stop them, then in that case as well, he could get guna for that as well. That is why sometimes I feel really scared. I get to seek tawbah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, istighfar for this recording. And I would like to advise Brother Shehzad and Ghaznavi Sahib as well, Dr. Sahib as well. If I die, then please remove my videos from the what you call website. Just leave the voice, people can benefit from there. But with the videos, if someone looks at it and starts lamenting, I could get punished in the qabr. Only doing this because of the benefit of many people who are taking benefit. But sometimes I do feel scared to answer before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Sorry. लेकिन फिर वो आपकी मुझे बात याद आ गई ना कि अमाल और नियत का ताल्लुक भी तो है ना, on the day of judgment.
हाँ ये तो है.
Why don't we go on to that then?
अल्लाह पाक माफ फरमाए, अल्लाह रहम फरमाए, अल्लाह बस राजी हो जाए, मकसूद अल्लाह की रजा हो, कोई अपनी प्राइड और तकब्बुर, बड़ाई और उज्ब और खुद पसंदी न हो, अल्लाह राजी हो जाए, ये मकसूद हो, तो इंशाल्लाह उम्मीद है कि अल्लाह पाक माफ कर देंगे, छुट्टी हो जाएगी. Anyway, we want to finish the ayat. وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. We have this is one interpretation of مَا قَدَّمُوا وَآثَارَهُم. The second interpretation is وَآثَارَهُم means their footsteps. Whatever footsteps they have taken towards good or towards bad, they are both noted down. Many ahadith narrated here by Ibn Kathir and others that Banu Salama were a tribe who used to live on the furthest area of Medina Sharif, and they had difficulty in coming to Masjid Nabawi for Salah. So there were some houses empty near Masjid Nabawi, so they intended to move closer to Masjid Nabawi Sharif and sell their homes and come over here. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam found out, he said, Ya Bani Salama, diyarakum tuktab atharukum. Diyarakum tuktab atharukum. Hold on to your homes, your footsteps are being recorded, and you will get the sawab for every footsteps you take in coming to the masjid. So stay where you are, don't come close to the masjid, you will get sawab for every step you take to the masjid. Sayyiduna Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu says, I was walking with Zayd ibn Thabit radiallahu anhu, and I started walking fast. And Zayd ibn Thabit said that, Oh Anas, ama sha'arta anna al-athara tuktab. He said, don't rush, don't take, because when you are running, you take long steps. But when you are walking, you take small steps. So Zayd ibn Thabit started taking small steps, and he said, don't run. Do you not know that these steps we take towards the masjid, they are being recorded? So if you take more steps, you will get more sawab. If you take less steps, you will get less sawab. So every step you take towards the masjid, you get sawab for that.
Sorry to interrupt, Dada Pir Mahathir Makki rahmatullahi के बारे में रिवायत में आता है कि महरम से खरीब थे, लेकिन जब उनकी चाल ऐसी हुई तो
छोटे-छोटे कदम ले. Haji Imdadullah Muhajir Makki rahmatullahi used to live in Makkah, but when he used to go to Kaaba Sharif, Haram Sharif for Salah, he would take small steps, because he wanted more sawab for going to the masjid. So this is ma qaddamu wa asarahum. And there is another incident of Ubay ibn Ka'b, that there was this person whose house was very far, and he used to come for namaz to Masjid Nabawi with punctuality. So Ubay ibn Ka'b radiallahu anhu felt pity for him, and he said that, why don't you buy a house closer? And he said, no, I don't want my house to be joined with the masjid. Where I am is better for me. So Ubay ibn Ka'b radiallahu anhu felt a little bit hurt, and he mentioned this to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and said, Ya Rasulullah, he said these types of words. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam called him over. Why did you say this? He said, Ya Rasulullah, I am hoping for the reward for every step I take. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Inna laka ajra mahtasabta. Whatever you have hoped, you will definitely get it, and you will get that thawab from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is being recorded. In both instances, we should try and leave some trail behind as well, and we should take small steps to the masjid as well and hope for thawab of both. Allah said, وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. Everything we have noted down in Imam Mubin. Imam has different meaning. Imam means several meanings. Over here, Imam means book, and Mubin means clear. Clear book is reference towards Lawh. So two things. Number one, some say reference towards Lawh Mahfuz, because Jami'ul Kainat maktubun masturun mahfuzun fil Lawh Mahfuz. Everything in the universe has been noted down in Lawh Mahfuz. Lawh Mahfuz, the sacred tablet, it's huge. The top is high above the heavens, and bottom is beneath the seventh earth, and one side is on the east and the other side is on the west, and everything is noted in there with Nurani haraf and Nurani writing, because Allah created the pen first and told the pen to write, and the pen wrote everything that is to happen till the day of Qiyamah. This is Lawh Mahfuz. So, fi Imam Mubin, everything is recorded in there, and the world is going and happening, and events have been recorded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Lawh Mahfuz. Number two, some say that Imam Mubin over here means A'mal Nama. The second interpretation, A'mal Nama, our book of deeds. One angel on the right, other on the left, they are noting down. So Allah said, we have recorded everything in your A'mal Nama. This is what Allah says in Surah Bani Israel, يَوْمَ نَدْعُو كُلَّ أُنَاسٍ بِإِمَامِهِمْ. We will call every person with his book of deeds. So Imam over there, one tafsir is A'mal Nama and Kitabi A'malihim min khayrin wa sharrin sab usme hoga. Another place Allah says وَوُضِعَ الْكِتَابِ فَتَرَى الْمُجْرِمِينَ مُشْفِقِينَ مِمَّا فِيهِ. So similar words, وَوُضِعَ الْكِتَابِ وَجِيَ بِالنَّبِيِّينَ وَالشُّهَدَاءِ وَقُضِيَ بَيْنَهُمْ بِالْحَقِّ وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ. So these are indicating towards the A'mal Nama, and this is what is mentioned in these ayat. शुरू से एक दफे तर्जुमा कर लेते हैं, फिर बात खत्म होगी. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. यासीन वल कुरआनिल हकीम. By the oath of the wise Quran. Innaka laminal mursalin. Surely you are among the messengers. Ala siratim mustaqim. You are upon the straight path. Tanzil al-azizir rahim. This Quran is a revelation of the mighty, the most merciful. لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا مَا أُنذِرَ آبَاؤُهُمْ فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ. So that you may warn a nation whose forefathers were not warned, so they are negligent. لَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَىٰ أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. The decision has been passed against most of them that they will not believe. إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا فِي أَعْنَاقِهِمْ أَغْلَالًا فَهِيَ إِلَى الْأَذْقَانِ فَهُمْ مُقْمَحُونَ. Sorry, over here said that, but the translation is so they will not believe. The decision has been passed against most of them, so they will not believe. Surely, we have placed a yoke, a collar around their necks, which reaches to their chins, so that their gazes are fixed upwards. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. And we have placed a barrier in front of them and a barrier behind them, and we have covered them so they cannot see. وَسَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. It is the same to them, whether you warn them or you do not warn them, they will not believe. إِنَّمَا تُنذِرُ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الذِّكْرَ وَخَشِيَ الرَّحْمَنَ بِالْغَيْبِ فَبَشِّرْهُ بِمَغْفِرَةٍ وَأَجْرٍ كَرِيمٍ. You can only warn such a person who follows the advice and who fears Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, without having seen him. So give such a person the good news of forgiveness and a reward of honor. إِنَّا نَحْنُ نُحْيِي الْمَوْتَى وَنَكْتُبُ مَا قَدَّمُوا وَآثَارَهُمْ وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. Surely, only we can revive the dead, and surely we record whatever they send forth and whatever trails they leave behind, and everything we have recorded in the clear book. पहला रुकू फिनिश हो गया. इंशाअल्लाह अब दूसरा रुकू नेक्स्ट
इंशाअल्लाह.
ना ये डेस्टिनी पे